the Simpit. I'm your host, Shaun, and welcome to today's edition of the Pitstop, where you, the mighty, mighty pit crew, my good friends, the pit crew, you are the real star of today's show. Happy Friday to everybody out there. I think moods are in a slightly better mood. We're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel on things. And at this point, I think people might start feeling a little more normal or human again because we can at least see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that's, in my opinion, a little overly optimistic, but let's run with that optimistic and have a good weekend at least, but stay safe. Anyway, we are here for the Friday edition of the Pit Stop. I'm going to really briefly, when we moved this show to Friday night, it was still a test. Will it get better ratings? Will we have a different kind of comments or conversations going on? Will it increase the amount of people who join our community racing on Friday? Well, truth be told, just to give you guys a little update after doing Friday version for a month now, the ratings are the same. They're really not up or down from the morning edition of the show. The conversation, I think, is a little bit better or a little more active than in the morning, but maybe not. That might not even be true. And then our community racing aspect, we did see growth. More people coming out to race with us on Friday night doing that. However, I started enjoying Oval so much that we turned it into our Oval Racing Series, which we're going to talk about. I'll give you everything you can do this weekend with us. We'll talk about that, and which means it's no longer like a, hey, what are we going to do Friday night after the show? Now it's like, well, after the show, we have this official series. So I'm not sure that's going to be quite the same vibe, the same environment. So with that, I still am questioning the Friday show. Friday night, this time slot is much harder for me than 9 a.m. I like the idea in concept of putting the show here, but 9 a.m. works better as far as logistics for Shaun Cole. Like right now, my brother is going to walk in the door any minute. As soon as he hits the door, you're going to hear the dog. I normally would like to say hello to my brother, and so that happens during the show, which is kind of odd for me. The other is, like I said, it's hard for me to be ready at 5. That's a tough time for me. It means I have to be preparing at 3. If I do anything else, it's easy for me to run late, and that was the case today. And then finally would be the going into the racing aspect itself. If the show runs long by even a minute, I'm not getting prepared for the race. I'm not getting my stream because I like to stream that setup. It's a lot to ask of me to get the show ready at 5, get the stream ready for the race at 6, and then to even have my head on straight and in the game for the race. So I'm still evaluating. We've made no decisions. If you guys really like the Friday edition of the show, here's the best thing that I can recommend, and I really mean this. I tell you guys all the time, you got a thumbs up, that's great. You got to make comments, suggestions, all that, that's great. It helps. If you don't spread the word, if the ratings on the Friday show don't exceed the ratings of the Monday or Wednesday show, this is going back to Friday morning. It's better for me. It's better for my racing, and that is what I will use as a determining factor. However, being an entertainer, it's all about the ratings. So if that's the case, then that'll be the ultimate deciding factor. Anyway, enough about me, enough about the show. Thank you for being here on the Friday. It wouldn't change it, Amir. I'd still need to do all the prep, and actually changing the set would only save me minutes compared to the other things that I'd have to do, because the way the streaming data moves is different for the pit stop than for racing. So I can't just do one and then roll into the other. It would still take some turnaround and changing of what's plugged into what in what way. So yeah. Dave Blair, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that a ton. So what is going on in sim racing? I don't want to call it the news. I haven't changed the graphic because I'm lazy. No, because I forget. But what is going on in sim racing? What do you guys want to talk about today? It is Friday, so with the weekend, I mean, a lot of these esports series we're seeing them in the evening time during the week, but the main ones are on the weekend. 1 a.m. Tuesday morning pit stop. Viper, I like this one in concept. It's been a little, so it's a little harder for me to pull together. So without getting gains from that, I'm like, well, why am I jumping through extra hoops? Why am I inconveniencing my life? I'm more than willing to do that. And anybody who's known me or this show for a long time, I am willing to do anything it takes for this show. But if there's no gains, then I don't need to give myself extra headaches, I feel. As an entertainer, had you ever thinking end up in Vegas racing Elvis? No, but I did end up in Los Angeles racing against little Elvis, 12-year-old kick-ass sim racer Elvis. I did make that leap, but nope, never had an idea. So the main thing going on right now is the sim racing, the Esports series that are going on. And I have these cards. We're doing a giveaway through Ricmotech, for Ricmotech. We're going to pick a winner. Yeah, Jason, I've thought about that too. Do a survey. It's, I think if I have a survey that people are going to say they do want the shows, I'm not sure. I was a Care Bear in Vegas. Anybody doesn't know the story? Never mind. I'm not. I don't have time. That's the other problem with doing a 6 o'clock or this time slot. I have no time for distractions because I would go down the Care Bear story right now to tell people who don't know what you're talking about what you're talking about. We're going to leave that alone for right now. Jason, I don't know if I need 3 shows. I mean, okay, so again, this is the Sim Racing Hangout show, not the Sim Racing News. So I'm going to take this diversion on the 3 days a week. The pit stop shows, to an extent, you could even accuse it of derailing the Simpit from what it does. But the Simpit's also trying to move forward with the more streaming forward world that we're in. And the pit stop, I always thought it would do better than it did. It's never really done that well. It gets about 1,000 views per show, so that's 3,000 views a week. That's 12,000 views a month. One good video easily can exceed 12,000 videos. Views. One almost said it. One BS title can bait people into 12,000 views. So that's a lot of work if you think about it. If I am at my desk at 7 a.m. and the show's at 9 and the show goes an hour and a half, that means I spent 3.5 hours, 3 days a week for the pit stop for 12,000 views in the course of a month. That's not good math. So there's a fine line for me when deciding what to do. Devin just said do it from the rig, as well as what Amir said. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the setup and see if I can flip the switch from one to the other. I don't know if that logistically even works. I don't know, because I still might have to switch all the cables around to do everything. Only if you exceed a marathon amount of time. A few thousand people own iRacing. Millions own G. Yeah, okay, Rodney. Now we're getting into a different department. Now we're getting into the question of whether I'd rather do what I want to do with pride, or whether I'm just creating a show purely for the sake of entertainment. I'm not here I'm not going to go start writing GT Sport and Forts on a daily basis in the name of views. That's not what I do. It's not what I want to do. Do it at 12. Gab and grub with Cole. I'll start hosting the news while I cook my lunch. What if I rotate the hosts? Get Amir and Devin. I like that. Yeah, and Amir, what you just said there is why we're still here doing the pit stop. I love hanging out with you guys. I love doing the news. I love having the pit stop conversation. I always hoped and believed that it would grow beyond what it has, and that it would be worthy of putting in that time. It's worthy of putting in that time because of what you just said. I love coming here, hanging out with you guys, whether we're talking about the morning, whether we're talking about in the evening. When we knocked the pit stop from 5 days to 3 days, it broke my heart a little bit, because it was 2 days of the week that we don't have hanging out. Anyway, the point of this show, by the way, had nothing to do with going over the value of the pit stop. The pit stop is not on the chopping block. This is open discussion. This is me letting you guys into my heart. This is me letting you guys into my world and some of the thinking. And today in particular, as I was running so late pulling this show together and not comfortable. That's the other thing. Not comfortable. As I was getting ready to go live, I was not comfortable because I didn't have that extra half hour I needed to prep work. Anyway, what's going on? Let's switch gears. I don't want to talk about this all night long. And I don't, and again, I'm not trying to be a bummer on this topic, you guys. This is not a bummer. I'm not trying to complain or piss and moan or any of the sort. Yeah, let's move forward and enjoy what we're talking about because I do love doing this. IMSA, this is at the iRacing Twitter page. No, we are not breaking up, Cranky. We are not breaking up at all. IMSA posting this via iRacing or iRacing Twitter. iRacing retweeting IMSA's post. Here's your first look at the IMSA iRacing Pro Series 2020 schedule. Round 1 already happened. Round 2 is at 6 p.m. Eastern Time today. So we will be competing with... Oh, this was yesterday. Sorry, that race was yesterday at Weather Tech. I'm sorry, I knew that. No rant hat. Yeah, I'll put on the rant hat when we're breaking up. It's not you, it's me. Round 3 will be at Mid-Ohio. So there is their schedule. Round 3, 4, Road America. Round 5, VIR. And round 6, WGI being Watkins Glen. So, see, and I didn't even refill my coffee. My coffee's cold and empty. What a... We have the Porsche Motorsport Cup, the Porsche Mobile One Super Cup Virtual PMSC race calendar. Second race day of the Porsche Mobile One takes place Silverstone track this Saturday. So Saturday, again, put in your calendar all the different thing. Joe, stop my whining and get to work. We have things to do in 45 minutes. So true. IMSA race day resource guide, everything you need to know about today's IMSA race. That was yesterday, you guys, for Laguna Seca. I wonder if my buddy Max ran in this. He should be. He's a Porsche racer, and I believe he got an invite. I don't know if he's up and running yet. Do we have any results on this one? I'd like to see if he's on the board. 30 minutes to the green flag. Here's a link where we can watch the race. That's right. I was here before YouTube. That's a weird thing to say. All right, I want to see a leaderboard. Is Max Root out there? Go get him, Max. I do not see a Max Root. They're scoring things a little weird, though. You guys see a Root? All right, let's go back and see something at the beginning of what went on with this. This was yesterday. Qualifying. Oh. Flucker? Rodrigo Flucker? Flucker?
Bruno Spengler, winner at Sebring, has Mirko Bortolotti alongside him. Then Richard Westbrook in the Ford with Philippe Eng.
All right, what's the next row?
Team Austria on row 3. That's your top 6. Look at the times, how close they are. Shinji Mishimi on the inside of row 4 with Sebastian Prio in the Ford along 12 in 24th position. 23rd position is Alessandro Balsan on the...
I don't think he was in this one. Now I'm being awfully selfish looking for my own friends, right?
Paul Miller Racing in the number 48. And Philip Albuquerque on row 40 in the number 30. Vince on iRacing, but he's the man who set the quick times for Porsche in road cars.
Careful how you say that one, huh? All right. Anyway, so you can watch that race if you want to see the IMSA pros running at Weather Tech Raceway. What else do we have going on? A few moments to go. Green flag. What a move, Philip Eng. All right, we'll watch this one. I'm not sure about that, Tom. Me too. All right, we saw that. Cool. Turner Motorsports talking about BMW. Bruno Spengler claimed his second victory in the IMSA iRacing Pro Series. Sorry, spoiler alert. Strong performance by Guven in the Porsche. Bruno with his keys to victory. What to watch? Team Chevy, they're talking about it as well. This is all in anticipation. All right, now we're switching gears. Dress your best at Richmond Raceway. So they're promoting the next event. That's a cool looking car, by the way. I do think so. And then here's Fox. Whoa, that's what happened. Things got pushed down. There we go. Here's where we were. So this is what's going on Fox Sports here in the United States if you're looking for some iRacing entertainment of the pros. So there you go. What else? Mitchell DeJong won a second consecutive Yokohama pole award and blew away the field for the second straight win in the Subaru. We knew he would do that, didn't we? Uh-oh, we got an itch in our nose. I'm sorry. What else? Graham Rahal saying the weather looks promising for tomorrow's IndyCar Challenge. Here's the full broadcast schedule of what's going on. We're all the way through the week, though. We're already out to here. The Subaru Rallycross is going on, coming up in about a half an hour. Tomorrow, you got the IndyCar iRacing Challenge. Saturday, you also have the NASCAR Saturday Night Thunder on enascar.com. IndyCar Challenge will be on NBC. That's tomorrow. Subaru will just be on the normal iRacing channels. And then the eNASCAR iRacing Pro Invitational will be on Fox Sports 1 on Sunday. I might tune in for one or two of those this weekend. All right, Assetto Corsa. They just posted this 10 hours ago. Think you have what it takes to be an Assetto Corsa star? Reckon you're an SRO Esport GT Series champion in the making? Here's your big chance. Registration for their public hot lapping qualifying is now open. So all you fast guys, we have a lot of fast guys here that we hang out with. This is a good opportunity, a good chance. You know, you look at someone like Elvis. Elvis, I don't know if you're watching tonight, but man, you should get on Assetto Corsa. It might not be your favorite sim, but you should go. You might be able to earn your way in. It's time, you know, you might have to go beyond iRacing to get the attention you deserve with your sim racing talent, but anyway, anybody, it's open to anybody. They're having their qualifying. Round 1 will be May 16th. Registration opens today. So this is the very beginning. You couldn't have gotten, nobody has an unfair advantage. It's a clear slate. It starts now. Get out there. Oh, I'm sorry, George. I think we all go through that. It's like golf. You know, you have maybe it's time. You know, if you used to be fast and now you're slow, maybe it's time that, you know, maybe you taught yourself some bad habits. Maybe it's time you get a coach. Maybe you get a friend to observe what you're doing. Maybe you watch some of your replays and get overly critical of what you're doing as though you were coaching somebody else that was paying you. Like if somebody paid you... Hey! ¿Qué pasó? Hey! Max, come here. What are you doing? Come here. You come here. You come here. What are you doing? What are you doing? You come here. Oh, it's not just the drop it, give me 10, but it's the Max Cam. Look at that. What's up, buddy? 10 kilo, huh? All right. Back to normal. So clear slate, get out there and do that. I didn't even think of that. In the moment of the plague, I'm getting a used Oculus. Ooh. Do I have to... How do you disinfect an Oculus? Let's see here. R Factor talking about the All-Star Series, though. We Are the Race. Week 5 already of the We Are the Race All-Star Series coming your way. Just opened the Hot Lap leaderboard. This was yesterday. It's your chance to qualify to go up against the greatest from both the real and sim racing world. So if you're not fast on iRacing, if you're not fast on Assetto Corsa, maybe you're fast on R Factor, and you can go get in on that leaderboard. Oh, I hear my brother. I hear my brother. All right, it's clean. It's good. Hi, Greg.
Hello.
There's Greg, everybody. R Factor this Saturday join the FIA Formula E for the Race at Home Challenge, so more entertainment. This will be tomorrow at 3:30. You know, you can pretty much wake up tomorrow and start watching professional esport all the way through the end of the day.
Good boy.
Oh, that sucks, Dive. That would be the worst. That's disgusting. Oh, I forgot. Oh, we are doing a contest. I forgot I was going to do a graphic or some kind of... I can't be late on the show. We are doing the Shaun Cole lookalike competition. This was created spontaneously on Wednesday as people made comparisons to who I may or may not look like. If you would like to enter the Simpit, the Shaun Cole lookalike contest, here's the deal. I want to know who you think I look like. So I want a picture side by side, a picture of me from the show next to the picture of who you think I look alike. And whoever wins, we're going to take all those entries. We're going to do a full Simpit care package. That's going to be a shirt, a mouse, a mouse pad, and a sticker for the winning entry. So yes, email me entry, Shaun, SHAUN, at thesimpit.com. Side-by-side picture, me and who you think I most resemble in the world, and we'll vote on them and declare a winner. I need to get a graphic up for this one so we can do better. What about the delivery company? I should be more worried about the delivery than Tom himself. All right, so there you go. Formula E. What else? Dirt Rally, they're doing some driver interviews. This was posted earlier this morning. How are Timmy Hansen, Kevin Hansen, Kevin Abring, Scheider, Timo, and Johan KMS88 getting on ahead of the World Rallycross Esport Invitational? They've got a YouTube here where you can go watch exactly that. Oh, they're the brothers.
I'm very proud. No, for sure we will need to address Timmy's problems because we have been practicing a lot and we are very equal on times. Even he's at times faster. Like
Greg, can you fill my coffee, please?
So for sure we need to sort out the screen. And also
I don't need sugar. I'm sweet enough.
In the screen, so working on that. But for sure we will be ready on Sunday. We have been practicing hard and not as fast as the world champion on dirt, but at least.
Okay, what else? We have some Formula 1 game liveries. Check this out. So this is coming off of their announcement of F1 2020. What was the date on that? That's coming out in August? No, was it July? June, July, August? July. I think it was July. I know we just talked about this Wednesday. We were clowning me and my memory. But here we go. There is what is that? Alfa Romeo? Alfa Romeo, yeah. Here we go. Alpha Tauri. Scuderia Ferrari. Newman Haas. I like Newman. It's not Newman Haas. Haas. F1. McLaren. Yeah, that's pretty boring looking, isn't it? Where are the sponsors, McLaren? The Mercedes. And Racing Point F1. That's our new name. Red Bull Racing, obviously. Renault F1. And Williams Racing. I like the look of that car. Rocket. That's a great sponsor name. All right, what else? What else? Time check, 5:25. We're okay. We're doing okay. Grid. They've just put out a teeny tiny, itsy bitsy hot fix for Xbox One, PS4, and PC for those curious about the details. There's a link. What did they do in that teeny tiny, itsy bitsy update? We'll find out now. I agree, Tom. I don't think there's any car right now being built, I'd say in road cars or racing. I don't think there's a single car being built right now that is as nice as anything from yesteryear. I think the cars have gone to the point where they don't care either. Here's what I really think. I think cars were built in the vision of what man wanted them to be for many, many years, because we didn't have the technology to know that we didn't know we were doing it right. So we built cars to be sexy and to have personality, and cars that the people who built them, fall in love with, or the people who drive them love them. And now they don't care about that. Like, they don't care if the sponsors' names can even go on the car well. It's purely 100% about performance. And with that, I think that every car across the board have gotten just ugly, disgusting. Honestly, I think these are ugly cars in every way. It's like, it looks like it's broken. Anyway, all right, grid, what else? So they did that. Also, they're doing credit boosts. Back in my day, we used to walk to the racetrack uphill in the snow both ways, there and home. It was the only way to get there and home was uphill in the snow. And you kids nowadays, with your COVID and watching races from home, you just don't know. Let's see here. You'll earn between... I don't think any of the Teslas... I think that little Roadster looked good, but wasn't that basically wasn't that a Lotus Elite or something? I don't... But, to each his own. I'm not going to say... that's the beauty of to each his own. To each his own. You think they're cool? I don't. But, I see 1,000 Teslas a day. Well, back when I was allowed to leave the house. Anyway, grid credit boosts. You'll now earn between 4,000 and 22,000 credits for each multiplayer race. Woohoo! Woohoo! If you can't go win one of those esports, well, you can win between 4,000 and 22,000 credits for each multiplayer race on the career without needing to play career. Awesome. Tevin. The name of the Oval League is Simpit Oval Series, I believe. And Amir, you're going to accept entries all the way up until 6 o'clock, I'm assuming? All right. What else? Grid, we already talked about the itty-bitty. NASCAR Heat 4 is free to play on Steam all weekend. So if you've talked smack about NASCAR Heat 4... and you've not played NASCAR Heat 4, maybe you should put your money where your mouth is and go play the free-to-play all weekend on Steam version of Heat 4. Completely free until Monday at 1 o'clock. That's for the PC, obviously, on Steam. Old muscle cars of the 60s and 70s. And you think, Dave Blair, you think of the old muscle cars of the 60s and 70s, and I'm not trying to take away from anything from the Camaro or all of the retro new, the new Mustang, the new Dodges, the new Camaro. They all have a resemblance to the 60s era counterparts, and it ends at a resemblance, unfortunately, because as much as they tried, none of them are anywhere in the ballpark or league of their 60s and 70s car counterparts. I'm sorry, and it's not their fault. It's not Chevy, Ford, or Dodge's fault that they don't. I'll tell you what, there's one magic word. I will give a Simpit sticker to anybody who thinks the glaring difference between the old cars and the new ones when you're looking at those cars, the biggest major difference between them, that despite bigger wheels and cooler rims that we have today, despite fancy effects and even the difference in the way they can make certain parts, what is the one giant difference between a car from the late 60s, early 70s that does not exist on a single car made today? Not a single one. And that is the one thing I believe that is it's unfortunate. Somebody should actually consider going back old school. Anyone? I'll give you a moment. It's not the safety. Well, it is safety to an extent. That's not the reason I'm thinking. But no, it's visual. It's the difference in visuals that you see. Why they don't look as good. Why none of them. A steam engine. Touche, Amir. Uphill both ways. I'm talking street cars right now. Chrome, Blue XR8 said it first. I don't suppose XR8, are you a Cougar fan? It was an XR7. Blue XR8 got it first. Dave Blair second. Blue, if you send me an email, Shaun, SHAUN at thesimpit.com, I will send you a Simpit sticker. Let me know if you want black, blue, orange, or white. That's it. It's chrome. Chrome bumpers in particular, chrome rings around the lenses. The chrome features on the cars of the late 60s, early 70s are what gave the cars so much personality. When I look at a car, but they don't have bumpers. They don't have trim. It was the trim pieces and the chrome that made those parts look right. And that's the difference in the design elements with aerodynamic changes, safety changes, things like that. Yeah, well, but it was why back in the day, again, we'll say that again, you spent your weekend polishing your chrome, right? You know, people don't do that anymore. People go to the automated car wash and they run it through, and without bumpers and their aero, with their new aero front end, you know, those things wipe off 90% of the dirt because the car has no lines or things that stick out. So, yeah, I really, really believe that chrome, you know, I think of a 60s Camaro, and when you looked at it, whether it was angry or whether it was smiling at you, you could see its face. It had those headlights. It had the eyeliner around it with chrome rings. It had the smiling face in the big bumper or the frowning grin. And the cars had personality, and you could really fall in love with the designs. And there's just no car. You look at like the modern Camaro, which it's a great body shape. It definitely is inspired by the 60s counterpart. But you just couldn't fall in love with one like you could the other. And so anyway, chrome. Chrome is the magic. Chrome is where the magic is in the hot rodding world. NASCAR heat free all weekend. Automobilista 2. 3 hours ago, they talked about version 0.8.3.1. So the one we did the other day was that 0.830, and this 831 is now out. Adds new car HUD editor, further AI updates, along with the usual batch of fixes and improvements. I thought we had talked about that on like Monday or Wednesday, to be honest with you. I don't know why this doesn't feel new, even though it was posted 3 hours ago. NASCAR heat now with chrome, because Shaun Cole said so. You removed all the bumper. Now, so Sim Invader, you didn't remove the pieces, or did you remove the pieces, or did you black them out? And I will say that I have seen like a 60s Camaro where they removed the bumper, they removed the grill piece, and they put in something more modern. And so that wasn't the only aspect, because that car still looks sharper than the modern counterpart, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm going to stick with my chrome. And I'll give you another example. It doesn't always work that way. Now, my bumpers aren't chrome, but I have a Datsun 240Z, and one of the cool things that a lot of guys do is remove the two bumpers, the front bumper and the rear bumper. They just stick out. They weren't made out of fancy things. They're three-piece in the case of the front bumper. It's not a pretty bumper. And when you take it off, the car looks much cooler. The rear bumper, even more important. You remove the rear bumper on a Datsun 240, and it looks amazing without that rear bumper. However, in the case of a car built in the early 70s, those are much needed for safety. You take the bumpers off, someone taps you in the rear, and you now officially lost your car. So, Genos, 240Z Genos, we're at 25 to go. 240Z Genos, I gotta know. I'm seeing a few. It's hard to know. I see one that I like. It's really aggressive. That can't be the one. This looks cool. It's a little too weird for me. Okay. No time for distractions. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing here. what game can you race your car in, Rick? I can race my car in a few games. I can race my car in Dirt Rally. I can race my car in Forza and Gran Turismo. What other games has a Datsun 240? And Rick, Rick says, so how many people own a racing sim? And I love the way you keep calling it sin. Because it has their car. And it's funny you say that, because that is the reason, hey, Devin, that is the reason why I think that we shouldn't have to pay for licensing. Project Cars 2, thank you, Tom Jones. Welcome, Stephen Dager. Amir, are you going to be accepting applications all the way till 6? Tom Jones, there's no Kia Rio in GT Sport? Or Brad, no CRV in GT Sport? Assetto Corsa has a 240Z. Thank you. See, my car's in plenty of games. All right, there's Amir. So yes, I'll get to that in a minute. All right, let's move right along. We're gonna do the giveaway. Oh, here's our Automobilista released note state. Sorry. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so Ricmotech yesterday. Elvis won a controversial hot lap pump day. He and Mike Dam. Mike Dam actually coaches, so anybody might have watched yesterday's stream, by the way, and saw that Elvis won because Mike ran out of gas. We all discussed that, me, Mike, Frank, Elvis, after the race. And Mike, because he won so many events and has so many t-shirts, as you heard us even joking about during the show, wasn't worried about winning a t-shirt. So he was very happy to let Elvis have that win, despite there being controversy on how to count laps. All right, so when I was at PRI, Performance Race Industries trade show in Indianapolis this year, we did a bunch of driving competitions. I was there with Ricmotech, and hey, James, how you doing? I'm having a great day. Hope the same for you. And during that event, we ran a bunch of different combinations. So let me bring up one thing here first. And Ricmotech was giving away your choice of any of these wheel combos to the winner. And the competitions, we did a bunch of different ones. And what we did was we did a rallycross competition. We ran one in the Audi. We ran one in the MX-5. We ran one in the Pro Mazda. We ran a truck series thing. And then we did a dirt oval event. And for each one, 3 drivers went on to the final. Anyway, there was a drawing to win one of these wheels, and one of the winners didn't collect. So Frank asked me if I could do him a huge favor and put all the names of the people who weren't picked into a hat. So here I have Chris Brown, Noah Carmichael, Jake Matheson, Shaun Krebsbach, Gil Winningham, Jeremy Swenson, Michael Borden, Jake Matheson. He got 2 because he actually was in the final on 2 of the events. Sabin Bybent, who is a young guy, really good racer. He's really young, cool guy I met there. William Hale, Paul Jourdain, Patrick Byrne, Devin Morgan, Zane Yost, Robert Murray, and Cody Trammell were all the names. So anyway, real quick, I'm doing a favor for Ricmotech. This is kind of a payback a moment from back in the PRI show, and he was like, how are we going to do that drawing fair and make people believe that it was just totally legit? So, real quick, let's shake up the names, and I know none of you are in there. All right, and the winner is, and all I have to do is relay this information to Gil Winningham. Gil Winningham is our winning. Gil was 3rd place in the Audi competition. So congratulations to Gil, and I'll send that over. He'll win his choice of any of these Real Gear Wheel Pros from Ricmotech, which I almost wanted to, if I couldn't get busted for it, I would have put my name in. Winningham, always winning. All right, thank you for that, Frank. Kevin Harvick gonna have fun. We can't read the story because Motorsport has us restricted. Kevin Harvick is gonna have fun with his NASCAR debut. We'll see about that. We'll see if he has a ride the day after. Let's see here. Oh, we reached fire. Autosport's now in on the game. 20-minute call. All right. Autosport is now starting to cut us. We only get so many articles as well, unfortunately. So 2 sites we're not going to be able to refer to. I might stop going there at all. I've done it kind of help promote them promoting Esports section. If they're going to make it behind a firewall, then forget them. Where do we have bikinis? I like bikinis. Oh, look at that. ARG Esport. What's this? Hottest bikinis of 2020. You know, that's a nice looking bikini right there. I got to tell you. F1. So now that they keep raising the amount, now it's up to 70,000, which I have to be honest with you. If Formula One events put on an event to raise money, 70,000 doesn't sound like very much. Like, if Formula One had its name on it, wouldn't you think they'd have thrown like 500,000 on top just to make sure it at least looked like a somewhat respectable number? I bet the sim racing community on its own could raise 70,000. Anyway, not to knock it. It's always good when you're doing charity. It's always good when you're giving money to things that are needed. So don't misunderstand. I'm not trying to crap on that. Yeah, they're blatantly the same distribution, by the way. But Motorsport, I used to go to Motorsport for photos, and then they became a news site, and I stopped kind of using them. And 95 bikini. It's the drivers doing it on their own. All right, but yeah, those guys get paid a lot of money. So if you have more than one driver in it and the total raised is 70, his accountant would be like, dude, you need to give away more money. You haven't given away enough money this year. You're going to pay it too much in taxes. So I don't think they even met the minimum that they need to donate in a year. Anyway, all right. Look at that. Getting names accepted. Devin, I'm going to need you to be ready to promote your own things. I have the graphic you put in the news, but we didn't talk about the other ones. We're going to have to put our calendar together. And why am I seeing a spinning wheel on YouTube? This show is working, right? And again, getting back to, I'm going to refresh and see what's going on over there. That's not looking good. Yeah, 72. I'm seeing 72 people watching on YouTube. Like I said, the hoops I go through to do this show in the evening, I don't know if the viewership is warranting it. And now that we've moved Friday to a racing series instead of community racing, that's even less motivation for me to do this show right before the race. So, Mankey and Joa, don't promote that. There are things that not everybody, we have to have certain things, in secret amongst us, right? Like Shaun's Mankini. Lando Norris now confirmed for the Chinese GP F1 on Sunday. This is, he had been away, I guess. F1 Esport. Lando Norris for the virtual Grand Prix this Sunday. Another one of the race. On Twitch, it's hard to say. Not very many. 15. Yeah, nobody cares about my news show, James. As much as I love doing it, as much fun as I have it, nobody in sim racing other than the 72 of us watching right now care. Tom Jones, we have not made that decision yet, but I am really getting close to it. When I look at the numbers, it doesn't make me go the other way. James, so Gamer Muscle James says, and he's if you guys, if you're watching, I'm assuming you guys know who Gamer Muscle is. I also don't know. So here's what I've been doing, James, just to let you know. I am treating it like YouTube is where it's still the place to be for now. And I would like to be prepared to adapt to Twitch in time because I feel like that's where it's going. So I'm kind of covering all my bets right now. Well, then, Devin, you're going to have to spread the word because I can't work this hard for 76 people. Well, we're up to 76. No, but I mean, I can't put this kind of effort in for the 5 o'clock show. I have no intention of stopping the pit stop, by the way, just so you guys know. It's really the only thing I debate is whether the 5 o'clock Friday show is worth it or not. That's the one in question. I am, and I don't mind saying that I'm horribly disappointed in the numbers of the pit stop over time. Horribly disappointed. I'm being honest. I'm really disappointed that more people don't watch the pit stop. But I'm not going to stop doing it. I like doing it. So, but I might move this back to the mornings. Anyway, okay. Lando Norris confirmed. Dave Blair, are you still here? Dave Blair, I want to throw you one of the biggest thank yous that I can give any part of the pit crew. Dave Blair, man, Dave Blair is such a great guy. Dave Blair is always calling me or sending me messages with ideas for the show. Hey, you should do this. Hey, we need to do this. Hey, I'd like to do this. Dave Blair goes above and beyond for the Simpit all the time, and I really appreciate what you do, Dave. Dave put up a new video, and this is sort of one that I asked him to do. I'm trying to talk Dave into being like our Forza expert. Dave loves Forza and then started racing with us on other things, and now he races with that. Anyway, this is Dave's video that he put up on the Simpit Crew channel. If you don't know, check out the Simpit Crew on YouTube. And this is Dave's Forza Motorsport 8 prediction. Dave, I almost want to copy this and put it on the main channel, to be honest with you. 30 minutes, Dave Blair telling you everything. And this is a guy who knows Forza 10 times better than I do. And so he's going to tell you what's up and what you may or may not be able to expect out of Forza Motorsport 8. You'll find that again on the Simpit Crew channel. Over the weekend, I might move it over onto the main channel just so you guys, just so everyone gets to see it. So anyway, there you go. Thank you, Dave, for putting that out. And again, everyone go check it out. And again, Forza 8 could be a little bit of, could be a little bit of a game changer. Sebastian Vettel takes delivery of his first sim racing rig. Look at how fancy. Man, that is one fancy sim rig right there. Wow. Look at that. Do we get to see it? No. No. But you get to know about it. Someone posted earlier, DCS, Digital Combat Simulator, is free right now. If you love flight sims, if you want to play the best combat flight simulator I've ever played, DCS is it, and it is currently free. And it's like iRacing. It's an expensive sim when you get into it. That is weird, Tom. The counts are always weird and skewed. DCS is always free. Oh, I think all their content, you're right, the base part, yes. I believe all their content is free. I read something that it was free. I forgot about that. Yeah, DCS. The race, an article here, how Wallace's intervention shifts NASCAR's racism debate. Okay. Everyone knows why I've been, like, hesitant to do a Zwift. Don't let Zwifting damage your bike. Here's a Cervelo. Can you imagine if you had a nice Cervelo and it got screwed up because you put it on a trainer? Anyway, here's a whole article telling you what to do. Getting a specific skewer for your quick release. I will not put my bike on. There are actually tires that are built for being on a trainer versus wearing out your tires. Rotating your front wheel before each week so you don't like let it always sit on the same spot of the front wheel. Handlebars, doing something to wrap them. Yeah, you're putting a lot of friction on a bike with resistances that it isn't necessarily built for. So if you want a Zwift, a few of you have talked about it, you might want to check this out before you just go get any trainer or just stick your beloved bike on top of one. Keep in mind the amount of miles you just might do. Tour de France 2020 first-person trailer. So here we go. This is the Tour de France game. We've seen one every year for this by the guys who do WRC, by the way. I'd say, do I have time to pee? But I don't have time to do anything. We're 10 minutes away from race. You cheater. Oh, you cranky. You got to bust that out. You got to do a review for the show. Yeah, sweat. Yeah, you like if I'd put a towel over my top tube because I don't want sweat just sitting there on all my paint. Doesn't happen like that in real life. Mountain biking game Shred 2 headed to Xbox One later this month. We'll just show you what Shred 2 is all about. Bling. Total Simulator. That's exactly how you do that move, by the way. The all too known rolling flip. Okay, so there you go. Tony Hawk Shred 2. F1 2020 minimum and recommended specifications revealed for PC users. So what are their recommended specs? They're saying i5 9600, 16 RAM, and they're saying a 1660 Ti or an AMD RX 590 and up should get you optimal in their recommended settings. So not too high still. They're obviously not pushing things anymore on the graphical front. All right, what else? SnowRunner trailer. Oh, I'd love to watch this whole thing. United We Drive. But we're out of time because I talked about canceling the show too much. We're covering everything. We just have to pick up our pace. BMW, Motorsport, and Cookies from Laguna Seca to Nordschleife. Full sim racing program for BMW Works drivers. I'm warning, now I need to turn, now that we see the light of the tunnel, now that I hear certain things, like I heard they're going to try to start opening up certain sports without fans. Like they want the TV coverage of the sport back on TV with or without fans on stands. And I think now, in the case of racing, is a little different, but how quick are they going to pull these teams? How quick are they going to pull these drivers? How quick will we never hear the word esport from the mouths of a pro racer ever again? Anyway, just be warned, that day is coming as well. News break, sim racing. 3 big events coming. Laguna Seca, next Nürburgring, Nordschleife, then Formula E. So they're just talking about the extremely busy weekend. The busiest weekend yet. I believe now we have more, like 3 more esports series have come online. They're all running this weekend. Like I said, pretty much from tonight until Sunday morning, you're going to be able to watch esport going on with pro names driving it. Bentley official enters the Sim Racing Championship. I think we've talked about that. Trans Am by Pirelli Esport Championship launches Sunday. Another one. You know, I don't mean that, Tom. I mean esport. I was consulting a company I work with, and they were talking about how to branch into the esport world. And during that conversation, I said, you know, all the big ones are already taken. They're already up and running. You should be talking to SSCA or NASA. Those are the ones who need you. Boom. 2 days later, NASA Esport had kicked off, leaving you SSCA. So at this point, I mean, we're talking down to the ranks of lower. We're not just talking top tier. I don't know if you want to call it second tier or third tier, but we're seeing lower ranked series also jumping to the esports series as their only option to stay viable in this current environment. GT Sport, during this, they've experienced 50% increase in player numbers. I don't think that's a big surprise right there. That's great news, though. We talk about the big advantages that we have coming off of this is that we are having an explosion of sim racers. We're having guys who used to sim race come back to it. We're having new breed of people. We're having new real-life racers join the ranks. When they do turn off the switch, when they do stop doing all these pro esport, there will still be a huge pickup. I predict somewhere between 15 and 20% growth that we will keep after it's all said and done. When life so-called goes back to normal, I expect that the sim racing world will be 15 to 20% bigger than it was in January of 2020. We'll have to check those numbers, see if I'm right. Yeah, our guess, Brad, has been about double. It's been about double on iRacing, and I think that's about what they're saying here for GT Sport. So right now we're seeing somewhere between a 50 and 100% increase in sim racers across the board, every sim. If you call up a company and try to order a sim racing part, good luck. Some of them, a lot of them are out of stock. So, we've crept up to 81 viewers, by the way. I think still part of the problem with the Friday show is not everybody knows we do it Friday. Because I do notice that it keeps climbing throughout the show. But anyway, if anybody ever has any thoughts, I mean, I share my thoughts with you guys. If you guys ever have any thoughts about that stuff and whether you see a viability for the Friday show or telling me you think I should kill it, Shaun, SHAUN, simpit.com. I'm always listening. I'm always ears. I always respond to my emails. So, yeah, that was the downside. In the U.S., it was a good switch for people who work and can't make the show. For Europe, it pretty much asked them out. James, yes, I agree. It's hard to nail a time internationally on a Monday through Friday. Driving Italia, talking about Race Sim Studio, 5-time Sim Hub overlays plus 1 dashboard pack. So if you want to experience more of that, you'll find that there. Article at Driving Italia, and that's from Race Sim Studios. Those guys are putting out a lot of stuff. They rock. All right, eye candy. Here, we got some eye candy. Did I mention Dave Blair? I think I mentioned Dave Blair. Before we get to eye candy, one more time, I just want to check out Forza Motorsport 8 predictions on the Simpit crew channel on YouTube, and you'll hear Dave Blair, our in-house Forza expert, on his thoughts of what you can expect in the next generation of that, coming from the most knowledgeable Forza guy I know in my group of my circle of friends. Anyway, now let's get back to eye candy. Right here, what do we got? This one here is by Parnas England. A pretty simple Deathmobile-inspired rig. I like that he gave it a coat of paint. Shows the love, and it makes it actually look kind of nice in that spot. With that brown leather chair, kind of matches that green paint a little bit. What do you think? A weekend show. I need somebody to write down and convert those GMT times. I need to... 8 o'clock community news. I'm so torn on these things, you guys. It's what I probably should do in the case of the pit stop is not look at the numbers because they've never been good enough to keep the show going. What I should do is decide on whether I want to do the show Friday at 5 for me or not, based on whether it works for me or not so much on the ratings. So anyway, all right, nice looking rig here. Can we get a better shot, better view? Not of his wall socket. Pedals. Wheel. Monitor. Looks like he's playing Gran Turismo. Look at that. All right, there you go. Nice looking rig. Here we have the Quarantine Rig. This one by Aldebaran Tori. Posted 11 years ago. 11 hours ago. And here we go. We've got his setup. I'm sure the missus loves it. So he's got a wheel stand, generic wheel stand with the Logitech setup, running Project Cars 2 on what looks like the Xbox. Yep, that's what's turned on. Yep, there we go. And then finally, we got this one, a projector rig. Check this one out. This is by NME8IT 20 hours ago. We've talked about projectors. I think if you have controlled lighting, that's the way to go. Also, I had seen a screen that was a black screen that meant that it didn't get nearly as washed out, and it was amazing how great the screen looked. They're slow. They're too slow. Is that right? Wasted? Anyway, look at his rig, too. He was promoting his projector, but I like his Deathmobile. All right, let's see. Booth. Devin Booth. We've got our Tuesday Night Mustang. The Sim Racing Booth Tuesday Night Mustang series. I can't read. You made this graphic awfully small, Devin. Let's see here. Starting off on the 21st. April 21st. This coming Tuesday at Okayama. This is a league, so you will need to join it. And you just go to iRacing and you do a search for the Simpit Mustang Tuesdays. So think of all the racing you can do with us. We're working on expanding beyond iRacing, by the way. iRacing doesn't pay us. We shouldn't be this iRacing focused. We should do some Gran Turismo and Forza. Simpit Mustang Tuesdays, so you can run that one with Devin. That kicks off this Sunday. In addition to that, our guys, the Simpit, am I wearing it? Yep, look, the Simpit Endurance Racing team. They're going to be doing the 6 hours of Road America. This is tomorrow. It will be live on the channel, all that event from green flag to checkered, and I have a driver lineup. Where'd my driver lineup go? Hold on, bear with me. Representing the Simpit tomorrow, we have 2 cars. Car number 1, we're going to have Amir Assad, Stan Donnet, and Moses Choi. And in car number 2, we're going to have James Dowling, Devin Booth, and Ken Estep. So that is 2 entries. I have a model. I have I have that Porsche being built for us. We're going to keep it here in the studio. I really appreciate you guys representing, and the best of luck. That'll be on the show tomorrow. So forget all that esport. You want real esport? Forget these pros who are acting like they care. You want to see 6 guys who really care? Come watch them, the Simpit Endurance team at Road America tomorrow. There you go. Let's see, what else? We've got the Simpit Oval League. So this race starts in right now. The room is open 2 minutes ago. Yep, Wasted just said it opened. So last chance right now. I will make a mere look. If you want to join, you go do a search for the Simpit Oval Series. You send in an application. You will have less than 5 minutes to do that if you want to race with us. Tonight, we kick off the season at Daytona. There is 1 hour of practice. Then we'll do qualifying and a 65-lap race. I will be streaming it under the short. This gets back to the 5 o'clock pit stop thing. I might only go on Twitch. I might not have the energy to switch everything around and get in there. Than it is at Daytona. I don't really need to practice much for Daytona. Anyway, that is starting up right now. Please join us. We'll get the stream. I'm going to shut down both streams at the same time. I'm going to turn everything around, and I'm going to get back live as quick as I possibly can. And then last things last, we have the Simpit Road Racing Series, the GT1 Championship. Right now, Randall White leads the championship. Well, tied for the lead with David Grunnell, both with 128 points. Anthony Morano Jr. in third. As we get ready for the race at Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, a.k.a. Interlagos. That'll be Sunday morning at 10 a.m. for practice, 11 a.m. race time. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's show. That's going to do it for this week. Thank you, the pit crew, my good friends. Thank you for hanging out and talking sim racing. This isn't a new show. It's hanging out. It's a hangout. It's hanging out with friends, hanging out with people who love the same sport, hobby, common interest, whatever you want to call sim racing. But that's going to do it for this one. Get out there, do some racing. Have yourselves a great weekend. Stay safe. This is the Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.